So different types of rooms: corner fed, center fed, long rooms, short rooms, blah blah blah. The best way to explain it isn't here. So a corner fed room is a room where the door is at the corner of the room, nice and simple. Which means you've got one wall very close to you on the left side here. You've got one wall far away from you on the right side here. Center fed room, door to the middle of the room, nice and easy. Long rooms and short rooms. A short room is like a closet, a wardrobe, a bathroom, whatever. A room where you open the door and you can see the whole room from the door, right? A long room is a door opening into a corridor. You can describe rooms in a lot of different ways. As long as you're clear with people and people know what you're trying to communicate, it's fine, right? So if I open this door, I would say corner fed room, long right, short left. Easiest way to explain it. There's a wall close to you on the left, there's a wall further away on the right. Further describers you can use would be dead space right or button hook right, whatever. You know, it depends on the team. But in this particular room, there is a second threshold to take. So you describe that any way you want to. You know, room goes round to the right, dead space to the right, whatever. There's a lot of ways to do it. The best way in this game to clear a corner fed room is to do what's called running the rabbit. Running the rabbit is a surefire way that one of you will die if you do it too many times. This is where grenades are useful. But running the rabbit is basically where the lead man of the team is going to clear as much of this corner as he can, as much of this door, and at the point he decides that he can't clear anymore from outside, he's going to go into the room and keep moving parallel to the short wall close to him on the left, right? So you're going to come into the room and you're going to basically run along the parallel wall as far as you can and clear as much of the room as possible while staying on that close wall. The second guy in is going to come round and clear the long side. So where normally the lead man takes the area of quote-unquote most responsibility, the most dangerous area, because he has the extra element of surprise. In a corner-fed room like this, the lead man is going to go to the area of quote-unquote least responsibility, but it's not, right? But he's going to go to the area he can already see along the close wall that he already knows is there, because he's cleared that from outside. He knows he doesn't have to look there, so he can look long on the room. Does that make sense?
Yep.
The next thing for this...
Hold on, with the running the rabbit, you might want to demonstrate that with two guys.
Yeah, we can do it. Right, if everyone, what's the easiest it is? Actually, if you get in the room, it's probably easiest from in the room. If everyone gets in the room...
I do have a question, actually, just before you start. You mentioned specifically ground branch, doing this in ground branch, yeah, because, like, running the rabbit is super dangerous, from what I understand. So why are you applying it just to ground branch here?
Basically because the way you'd really do it, you can't do in this game. And also because it is, generally speaking, CQB sucks, right? CQB casualty rates are incredibly high. People are gonna die if you do it enough. It's all about just managing the risk. Running the rabbit is really done a lot because it's the quickest and easiest way to get guns into the room. If you're gonna clear with a button hook off the first guy's gonna go long into the room. He's now got the entire rest of the room around him, and the next guy in is gonna have to come around the back of him to get shot, if that makes sense. Because you've got a short wall on your left, you don't have to clear it. So if I come here and there's a guy here, I've got nothing behind me, I've got no space for the guy behind me to work. If I'm coming through here, I'm in the funnel, in the funnel, in the funnel. If I get shot here, the guy behind me is going to have to come around the back of my body to get shot on this guy. Whereas if I'm running the rabbit, I'm through here, I'm getting shots on, and the second guy is getting his gun on as well before I die, ideally.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, even if he doesn't get shot, either way, two man has to clear first, one man first in order to get his gun up. Whereas if one man runs the rabbit, two man comes in directly around the right corner at the target, both guns are up at this target as soon as both men enter the threshold, versus two men having to clear one man first before getting his gun up.
You want as many guns as possible.
Because you know this P2 over here is good, you're prioritizing the amount of guns you're throwing into this unknown.
Exactly.
Right, the right side is the unknown, exactly.
You're trying to get as many guns on as target on possible. Your cover is your plate, right? You've got to trust
Yeah,
in your play.
yeah. That's your only cover inside.
So you need as many people shooting the bad guy as possible to turn him into Swiss cheese before he shoots you somewhere that is not your plate.
Secondary benefit. The secondary benefit is that as one man comes in, any enemy in the room is going to start shooting at one man, right? So if there's a guy directly at this corner with their gun trained on one man as he moves across, the bad guy's moving his weapon across with one man, which means two man comes in and is outside of this guy's, line of immediate fire.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
And also the benefit.
Like my agency, we usually do the button hook. We do running the rabbit too, but it's not our preferred. So I was just curious where you're coming from. That's all. Thanks for letting me take you on a tangent there. Sorry, guys.
Not at all.
Awesome.
I had a question.
Yeah, go for it.
It's more about when to employ this. 'Cause I noticed on this room that you can see that hard corner from the doorway. So my question is, when let's say, like, why would you run the rabbit when you could just boom out
Right.
of the corner?
So
it's done.
seeing the corner from the doorway, I can't see all of this corner.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that mannequin. I can see a structure here. I cannot see the corner of the wall. Until I see the corner of that wall, until I see where the two walls meet, I have not cleared that corner.
Right.
Okay, because for all I know, this say this metal thing here is a wardrobe. There could be another guy behind the wardrobe.
Yeah.
Okay, or it could be there could be a hole there looking through to the next room. So until I see the point where those two walls meet, that corner is not clear.
Okay. Gotcha.
So you have to treat this as a threat all the way around. I can see this mannequin, I can shoot this target, right? But I have to get around here. The first point I can see the wall is here. So it might be run the rabbit. Oh yeah, we've already killed this guy. Cool. And then you can work this next threshold that's behind all of you. But until you do that, treat it as a threat. Next thing, still in this room, clearing secondary dead space. So when you come into this room, there is a wall here. You don't know what's behind this wall. So once again, you treat this as a door. It's corner fed. Doors open. When you run the rabbit, you're going to end up here. So you'd kill this guy, and then you'd be able to clear to 90 degrees on this. Don't keep coming round because you're on your own. You have to wait for the two man to clear his corner, whoever else is in your stack to do what they need to do, right? And then you need to set up in a position where you can clear this next bit of dead space. Normally what you do here is you'd stack up a couple guys on this wall here, or they'd stack offset to here, and basically they'll button hook in and you'll run the rabbit again. Some teams rotate who runs the rabbit, whatever you want to do. But normally what will happen is you'll get two guys around here as quick as possible, and they'll take out the threats in this room. So it's exactly the same as that one, just you have to reset and do it again. Because there's another threshold, reset, do it again. Quick note, again, not law enforcement teaching, so we are very happy to shoot people without being able to see them. If you're coming into this room and you're in engagement where there are no friendlies per se, go in this building and kill everyone. If you hear noise behind that wall, back people off the wall, start putting lead through it. Don't fuck with doing extra thresholds until if you hear something behind that wall, back off, put bullets through it, shoot the fuck out of it, then go clear it. Or throw a frag around the corner if it's a solid wall, right? There's no penetration in any game I know of with frag grenades, so fucking go for it, right? If you hear something around there, rather than risking yourself again, at the point you went in this first door, they know you're in this room, and you know that there are threats in this room, but you don't know how many. You've just given them back the initiative, because if they're smart, they'll stay quiet and make you re-clear it. If they're not smart, they'll start screaming and shouting and picking up rifles, shoot through that fucking wall, kill them without ever having to clear it. Then when you go around the corner, oh look, we've got them all, and then you can just leave the room, right? This is kind of the same, but it's a center fed with the extra dead space, right? Again, nice and easy. You treat it exactly as you do the room before. So you'd clear it exactly the same way, deliberate entry. You clear around this door, pie it off. Okay, okay, I've cleared as much as I can, and then you'd make entry into the first room. And then the second part is again corner fed, so you do it the same as you did the corner fed room. Run the rabbit, button hook the second man, everyone else stacks in behind them, you know, with a going down the far wall, button hook, another far wall, button, etc, etc. The next thing is very quickly how or in what order you go into the room. So you can come to a door like this, you can clear deliberate entry, pie round, and you can be stood facing your two-man. And if you want to, you can go in the room and button hook like this, right? It's perfectly reasonable to button hook the door. That's fine, do it if you want to do it. In my experience, and in what I've seen and what I've seen taught to people and what I've seen used, much easier to cross the door. So you come up to the door and you will take the area immediately ahead of you and opposite. So you come in like this and step across and you push into that far corner. The reason that's easier is because you're already looking that way first, so you don't ever have to take your eyes off it. Second, your two-man is already covering your back, so he doesn't have to take his eyes off the point where he's at. And also, it just makes it a lot simpler and a lot quicker. It's faster to get into the room that way. You want to get in the room fast as possible. Once you make the decision to get into the room, you want to be inside that room, split second, snap of the fingers, in, because once you're in, you can deal with the problems. While people are outside the room, they can't deal with the problems, right?
You just might want to make it clear that you should never stop in the doorway. Ever.
Oh yeah, that's true.
seriously.
Yeah. Duster's favourite lesson, this is called the fatal funnel. The fatal funnel is everything directly in front of the door. Do not stop here. Whatever happens, don't stop anywhere on a straight line through the middle of the door. Even if you're coming through this door and you get shot in the side of the head, don't stop here. Don't turn, don't look. Get in the door and then deal with the threat. Because while you're still stood here, if you die, you are just a problem for everyone else. Don't be a problem for everyone else. They won't like you afterwards, right?
Point of no return is the threshold. As soon as anything crosses that point, your muzzle, a hand, a foot, it's go. There's no point, there's no turning back from that point. You get across the threshold as quickly as you can. The rest of the team also gets across the threshold as quickly as they can. I will point out that once you're in the room, you can slow down. Okay, you move as quickly to your point of domination, as you need to in order to be able to shoot accurately and analyze what's going on in the room and decide what to do. Do not rush to your corner, do not rush to your point of domination, but rush through the threshold.
Yeah, you wanna get through that door as quick as possible to save your life as well as to save everyone else's, right? The quicker you get through the door, the quicker the second guy gets through the door, so on, the more guns are in the room. The other quick point is the first man in is always right, and the first man in makes the decision on when you go into the room. No one else. It doesn't matter if your team leader is at the back of the stack. You know, if he's going, let's get in this room, ignore him. One man is always right. Always, 100% of the time. He cannot make a wrong decision. He is God at CQB, right? When the one man comes into this room, wherever he goes, the two man's job is to go opposite to him. Even if the one man was to like run into the room, lose his head and run straight down the middle of the room, he's still right. Whatever he does, he's right. Work around him. Because he's the one who's taking on the risk of getting shot in the face first, right? He's the one with a 70-80% chance of getting killed on every single door he goes into. So let him do what he wants to do. And a plus note to that, if you are the one man, you don't have to go into the room the second you finish pieing it off. If I'm here, we open the door, I pie off the doorway, I clear. If I get to here, and I'm not happy with something, I can wait. I can even pie back towards vertical if I want to. I can call the two man to pie over to me and get the third man to take up his spot. Whatever I want to do as the one man, I can do. I can call for a flash, I can call for a frag, I can call for a breach charge, I can call for us to back off and shoot through the wall. Whatever the one man calls, he's right. Don't rush your decision, and don't think that just because you've finished your predetermined pieing of the door or your clearing of the room from outside that you have to go in straight away. There's no timer on it. The only thing that times you is outside factors like enemies coming at you from other direction and the immediate threat inside the room. If you see a bad guy in the room, it's go time.